and also not fall into the trap that you have to be shredded in order to attract these women. You can still, like, if you're going for that aesthetic physique, you can still be around 12% body fat, no problems.
Right. Yeah. I was finding the picture. You probably can't see it very well here, but like on my Instagram. And so, yeah, it's not showing up well at all. But in one of these, I'm like pretty soft, and in one, I'm pretty lean. And I made a joke. I was like, I don't know why I'm frowning in the first one, because I was probably a lot happier and I was eating more. But there was a girl who, I don't even know her. She commented on the picture and she was like, yeah, don't go back to the first one. Like, second one looks better. I was like, yeah, I mean, that is just kind of how it is online. Right. So I think, you guys probably relate to how it's changed over the years, but like for you personally, it's a lot about what you're going after, and you'll see this a lot. Like, I have patients who, maybe like we have like a surgery, and so they're constantly focusing on other people's smiles while they're recovering, because it's like what you're focusing on. When I was very lean, when I wanted to be very lean in high school, there could be somebody who was not that muscular, but they had abs. And that was such a focus of mine. And I actually specifically recall there was a group of lifters who probably, I'm guessing, they were in their 30s or 40s at the time when I was in high school. And the one owner of the gym was like very clearly like juiced to the gills, but like, again, shredded, but very big. He had a friend who, honestly, if I think back to it, probably was like 220, muscular, definitely a physique that I would want now. But in my high school self, just had no appreciation for that, right? Because he wasn't lean. Fast forward, and I remember being a trip in California with my family. Like, I was probably like 22 or so, and there was this at the hotel gym. There was like a trainer or whatever, and I just saw him as like so skinny. I was like, "Who are you going to tell how to train?" Like, very probably cocky mindset. And he was probably 40 and 150, 155, but very, very lean. And my dad, who was, somewhat overweight, probably only again cared about being lean for, at that point in his life, saw this guy had veins down his arms. And he thought that was like, oh, but look at his look at his jacked his forearms are, right? And it's so much about what you're going for at that time you can appreciate in others, even if it's different than another time in your life.
That's so true, man. And in my experience too, when I was in high school, being shredded, people would ask me to flex my arm to see all the cuts. And they were like, "Wow, you're big, bro." But I was like $120, And then there was this other dude who was actually muscular, but no one paid him any attention because he was a little bit fluffier.
Yeah.
But I bet if those same people were 10 years older, they would appreciate it more. So if you're a serious lifter, you recognize when someone else is in that bubble. Otherwise, if you're just some recreational guy, you're looking at the vein. Wow, you got a great physique. But it's like everyone wants to look like Brad Pitt from Fight Club. But he's what, 6'1", 160? Is he really that big?
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you do want to talk about, like we said, I don't think that getting motivation from women is the best way to go about this. But I think, high school, college, it was about the lean guy. I can tell you that, now being 30, there's significantly more attention from like older women, meaning like late 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, just from a guy being muscular. Like, I think if you were to like poll your average like 35-year-old woman or 30-year-old woman, they'd probably say that they would prefer a man who has actually looks relatively big than like a skinny boy with abs, right? I think that would be probably like a general consensus for the most part.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's I think going with what women want is, I mean, ideally probably not the best motivation, but let's be serious. If you're a dude and you're, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, even like into your 20s, like that's going to be one of the biggest reasons. Like people don't say it, but like most people, that's a big reason why they train. That's a big reason why they're in the gym. And, it's maybe not the best reason to keep going. It might not sustain your motivation and discipline and such, but it's, if that gets you in the gym and that gets you lifting, fair enough.
Yeah. If it gets you started.
Yeah. As long as you keep the habits after, then you're going to set some higher goals for yourself, and also not fall into the trap that you have to be shredded in order to attract these women. You can still, like, if you're going for that aesthetic physique, you can still be around 12% body fat, no problems, and dress well, take care of yourself, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah. Like if you can't get laid at 20% body fat, it's not the fat. Like
Yeah,
it's you, dude.
it's definitely you.
Yeah, like, and I think some people think that their life is going to be like radically different if they get lean. No, like you'll be the guy at the party, in the corner, who's like, but I have abs. Like,
Yeah.
these guys are drinking alcohol as people do, but I have abs.
Yeah.
And,
I have a friend
like
who's
you put a premium on them, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, sorry. I have a friend who's shredded right now, and he's been that way for like a year and a half. And whenever we go to parties, he's the only guy who doesn't eat or drink. He has absolutely nothing. He's there at the table like this.
Oh,
And I'm like, bruh, just